welcome to Mrs. Tatnall's literacy lesson. Now, we are going to move on today. We're still thinking about food, as I so often like to think about. We were looking at ketchup on my cornflakes the last two lessons, and we came up with some crazy, humorous and funny things in lesson 1. Then we put them into a question for lesson 2, and hopefully you wrote your question down. We've been doing that in class this morning with our do you likes at the beginning, and then putting a question mark on the end. We've had some very crazy suggestions. We've had ice cream on your face. We've had, what else did we have? Oh, I think we had, do you like custard on your glasses? So we've had some crazy suggestions going on. Do you like Brussels sprouts in your cake? But we are moving on today to the giant jam sandwich. Now I'm going to come round to the screen because it's quite a small book, the giant jam sandwich. Considering it has the word giant in it, it's quite a small book. So here, oops, excuse me, knocking everything over. Here is my copy of the giant jam sandwich. Okay. Now, it's quite a nice book. It's been around a long time. It's quite an old book, The Giant Jam Sandwich, but it's still lots of good fun. Now, I'm going to read it to you first, and then we're going to be thinking about, while we're reading it, our favourite type of sandwiches. You can also think of the sandwiches you absolutely don't like, that maybe you've tried before and you think, oh, horrible. But we are also thinking about our favourites, okay? With the idea that moving towards the end of the week, we're going to start thinking about making our own favourite sandwich and the instructions that we need to give if we were telling someone else how to make our favourite sandwich. Excuse me while I get comfortable. Okay, right, so let's begin by reading the giant jam sandwich. Okay. Bear with me a moment. It's got lots of pages at the beginning. The author, by the way, is John Vernon Lloyd. Okay, John Vernon Lloyd is our author. He wrote the book. One hot summer in Itchingdown, 4 million wasps flew into town. There they are. Can you see them all up here in the sky? 4 million wasps flying into town. That's a lot of wasps. Okay, let's find out what happens next. I'll read it first and then I'll show you the pictures because it's quite hard to sort of do both and twist around a bit. Okay. They drove the picnickers away. They chased the farmers from their hay. They stung Lord Swell on his fat, bald pate. They dived and hummed and buzzed and ate. Okay, so here are the picnickers getting driven away. Ah, all the wasps. You often see that in summer, don't you? When there's suddenly a lot of wasps around with nothing to do, and they hang around near people eating their picnics, and then you see all these sorts of people getting up and waving their hands and running about to keep away from the wasps. So that's what's happening there. Chasing the farmers from their hay. They're all leaving their combine harvesters to run off. Lord Swell, well, I guess he must be some rich chap who lives in Itchingdown. And also they hummed and buzzed and they ate. Oh, 4 million wasps coming to Itchingdown. That is a lot in one go. Okay. And the noisy, nasty nuisance grew, till the villagers cried, "What can we do?" So they called a meeting in the village hall, and Mayor Muddlenut asked them all, "What can we do?" And they said, "Good question." But nobody had a good suggestion. Here they all are, all the people that live in Itchingdown, sitting there having a meeting. What can we do? Good question, but nobody had a good suggestion. Have a little listen while I'm reading the rest of the book as well. What's special about some of the words in this book? Then Bap the baker leapt to his feet and cried, "What do wasps like best to eat?" "Strawberry jam." "Now wait a minute. If we made a giant jam sandwich, we could trap them in it." I'm going to read that one more time. Then Bap the baker leapt to his feet and cried, "What do wasps like best to eat?" "Strawberry jam." "Now wait a minute. If we made a giant jam sandwich, we could trap them in it." I'm going to keep going. See if you can pick up on these special words. The gentlemen cheered, the ladies squealed, and Farmer Seed said, use my field. It's very nice of him. What is the plan, I wonder? Bap gave instructions for the making of the dough. Mix flour from above and yeast from below. Salt from the seaside, water from the spout. Now thump it, bump it, bang it about. Oh my goodness, they're making a huge bread dough. Look at that. So we've got, what was it? Flour from above and the yeast from below. I guess they're packing that in at below. Salt from the seaside and water from the spout. Now thump it, bump it, bang it about. Well, there's lots of instructions there. And I don't know if you've noticed yet, a little bit of rhyme going on. So each word on the end of each sentence rhymes with the word on the end of the next sentence. While they were working and working hard, some more made a tablecloth out in the yard. Ooh, it's going to have to be a big tablecloth to take this big loaf of bread, I'm thinking. Oh, look at the size of it. These are the people down below pushing it along on wheels. Look how big it is. When they were done, the dough was left to rise till the loaf was a mountain in shape and size. They hitched it up with a bit of fuss to tractors, cars and the village bus and took it to the oven they had made on the hill, 50 cookers in an old brick mill. So here they are hoiking it along with the town bus, bringing it up to here. Here is an old mill, but they've put 50 ovens inside the building to try and cook a loaf of bread that must be 50 times bigger than a normal loaf of bread. What a good plan, villagers of Itchingdown. For hours and hours they let it cook. It swelled inside till the windows shook. It was piping hot when they took it out, and the villagers raised a mighty shout. So took it out, raised a mighty shout. Out and shout are rhyming words. Over here we had let it cook and the windows shook. Cook and shook. Rhyming words. Let's see what happens next. Look at the building. The windows are shaking. Isn't it crusty? Aren't we clever? But the wasps were just as bad as ever. So no plan solved yet. Here they all are. Look, they're pestering this poor chap. The loaf was left to cool, and then the people watched while 6 strong men took a great big saw and sliced right through. Everybody clapped and they cut slice 2. Wow, what a plan. So it cools down, and then they watch while 6 strong men, which I quite honestly think could have been 6 strong women, took a great big saw. Here's the saw, backwards and forwards, and they sliced right through. Ka-ploink! Down drops slice number 1, and then they're going on with slice number 2. How many slices of bread do you need to make a sandwich? You need 1 for the bottom and 1 for the top. You need 2, don't you? That's why they've gone back to cut another slice. There we go. The village bus, they all agreed, would spoil the fields of Farmer Seed. So 8 fine horses pulled the bread to where the picnic cloth was spread. Here they all are, 8 fine horses pulling it along on its wheels rather than the bus, because they didn't want to ruin the farmer's field. A truck drew up and dumped out butter, and they spread it out with a flap and a flutter. Spoons and spades, slap and slam, and they did the same with the strawberry jam. So they managed to get the butter all spread out with a flap and flutter. They were using spoons and spades and whatever they could find to make sure the butter went to all the edges of the giant slice of bread. And then they did the same with the strawberry jam. This sandwich is taking shape, isn't it? Meanwhile, high above the field, 6 flying machines whirred and wheeled, ready for the wasps to take the bait. And then there was nothing to do but wait. So here it is, their sandwich, okay? You can see the jam on top, so they haven't put the lid on yet. So they're just trying to attract the wasps down to the jam. Why are wasps attracted by jam so much? I mean, why not make a tuna sandwich? Why a jam sandwich? I think that's probably because jam is full of a certain ingredient that wasps really like. It's full of sugar. So they are drawn by the sugary sweet smell in the jam. And look, they do seem to be attracted to the sandwich. They are flying down towards it. So the villagers are just waiting to see what will happen. Aha! Look at this. They're all landing on the jam. Suddenly the sky was humming. All 4 million wasps were coming. They smelled that jam. They dived and struck. And they ate so much that they all got stuck. They're stuck in the jam and they're too heavy to get back out again. What do you think the villagers are going to do now that the wasps are stuck to the jam? What might they do to finish the job of getting rid of the wasps? Have a think. Pause the video if you want to have a little chat to one of the adults that you're there with, maybe your mum or your dad. What do you think the villagers do next now that the wasps are stuck to the jam? Let's find out, shall we? The other slice came down kersplat on top of the wasps, and that was that. There were only 3 that got away, and where are they now, I cannot say. So they're all stuck inside the sandwich. They've plopped the other slice on top, and they're all stuck inside. But they never came back to Itching Down, which is not a waspish sort of town, but a very nice place to dance and play. And that's what the villagers did that day. They're having a dance, they're having a play. I don't blame them, they're celebrating. What became of the sandwich? Well, in Itching Down they like to tell how the birds flew off with it in their beaks and had a feast for 100 weeks. Oh, can you imagine that? If you were a bird and you saw that giant jam sandwich in the field, you would have a feast, wouldn't you? That they've flown off with it, all wrapped up in the tablecloth, and they're going off to eat it. My word. And that is the end of the giant jam sandwich. Now, I like it a lot because it's funny. I like it a lot because it rhymes at the end, the words at the ends of the sentences. And I think I like it because it tells us how to make a jam sandwich. It tells us what we need to do first, what we need to do after that, what we need to do next, all before you pop the lid on and the sandwich is complete. So we are going to be thinking about the instructions to make our favourite sandwich. Now, it might be that your favourite sandwich is indeed a jam sandwich, okay? But it might be that your favourite is an egg sandwich or a ham sandwich, okay? So we're going to be thinking about that because on Friday, I want you to have a go at making your own sandwich. And I'm hoping, if you're in my class, that you will film yourself and pop it onto Tapestry. Okay, if you don't want to have yourself filmed, that's fine. But I think you're pretty good at it now. You're pretty good at getting yourself filmed. And as you're making the sandwich, you're going to say the instructions step by step, okay? But before we get to this point, we need to make a list of all the things that we would need, all the ingredients that we would need in our favourite sandwich, okay? So not your least favourite sandwich. I mean, what would my least favourite sandwich be? I think probably the one I would hate most of all would be a beef sandwich because I don't eat beef. So if someone gave me a beef sandwich, I'd be like, ooh, no thank you. So my favourite sandwich would be, sometimes it changes, you know, but I think at the moment, my favourite sandwich would be a cheese and cucumber sandwich. That would be my absolute favourite sandwich. I used to have them a lot when I used to have my packed lunch at school when I was your age. So I think maybe it makes me think of when I was a small girl, and that's why it's one of my faves. But I need to make a list of the things I would need, the ingredients I would need in my cheese sandwich, okay? Now, you can watch me do mine, so it will show you how to make a list and write your items in a list. But after this lesson, I'd like you to sit and write your own list of the ingredients you will need when you make your own sandwich on Friday, in Friday's lesson, okay? So I've got to think about what ingredients I need in a cheese sandwich. Now, we might have some things that are the same because obviously we will need 2 slices of bread. So I'm going to put, I'll put 2 slices. So 2, the number 2 slices. So I need an all slices. I. Now remember, grown-ups, that when children are writing, if they've got sounds they know how to make, even if it's not quite the right spelling, then go with it. So I, the trigraph I, slices. Now it's all the same word, but I've not left enough room here, so I'm going to do a little line to say I'm finishing it off down here. Slices, slices. 2 slices of bread. I'm going to put bread down here. Bread. And then ed. 2 slices of bread. Okay, that's what I definitely need. I think I've started my writing a bit big. I might need a second board. 2 slices of bread. I'm going to need some, what do we spread on the bread? Butter. So what does butter begin with? But. And there's but and but. So I need 2 t's, but. Now, we know this sound, don't we? So we're going to go with this. But. 2 slices of bread, butter. What else do I need in a cheese sandwich? Cheese, of course. Cheese. So I need my digraph ch at the beginning. I need the E sound and then a S on the end. Cheese. Okay. And it's a cheese and cucumber sandwich. So I must have some cucumber. Cucumber. So I need a curly cur. And I'm going to have to tell you how to spell this bit here because we've not learnt a U sound yet. So cum is easy. Come, and then an sound that we've learnt so far in the last few weeks. So I think that's everything I need ingredients wise. I'm not thinking about the things I need to make it with, like a knife or a plate or a chopping board, but just my ingredients when I come to make it on Friday. 2 slices of bread, butter, cheese and cucumber. Okay, so that's my ingredients. Now this is what I want you to do after this lesson, is sit and make your own list of all the ingredients you would need in your favourite sandwich. So if you're not having a cheese and cucumber sandwich and you're having a tuna one, or maybe you're having a ham one, then you won't have the cheese and cucumber, you'll have the ham. Maybe you're having ham and coleslaw, or ham and piccalilli is one of Mr. Patnell's favourites, which is a strange combination, I think. So be thinking about where yours is different. You will need 2 slices of bread. You will need butter, but then yours will be different here depending on your favourite sandwich. So have that list written after this lesson. If you're in my class, pop your lists onto Tapestry. I would love to see lists. Remember with lists, it's slightly sort of different to a sentence in that you kind of have one thing per line. I mean, my 2 slices of bread took up 3 lines because it's quite a lot of detail. But butter and cheese and cucumber all get their own line, and that's how a list works. You write one underneath the other in a list, okay? Right, and I shall look forward to seeing those, and then I'll see you again tomorrow when we talk about what we might need to make the sandwich, like knives and plates and things like that. So we're all ready for Friday when we make our favourite sandwich. Okay then, I will see you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.